everybody, Brandon here with Making Traditional. Thought I'd do a quick video today on my DIY teepee. So myself a teepee shelter, ultralight shelter for taking to the backcountry on shed hunts and elk hunts. So we'll go through the whole tent process today. We'll get it set up in the yard, kind of do a walkthrough. I've got some projects planned for it. I've got a stove that I built for it that I need to sew a stove jack into it, and we'll get it all figured out. So come along and enjoy. All right, so I got my this is my EXO 3500 pack. Kind of go through how I store this. So I've got my tent poles here that slip into one of the side pouches. The thing I like about this shelter is if I'm going with a buddy, we can share weight by having somebody carry the poles and somebody carrying the tent. So I've got my tent pole there, my stakes, and then the shelter itself. Alright, come stand over here and you hold this bag and I'll ask for a stake. So what I'm doing here is I just got to find where my zipper's at. I always try and put the zipper on the front right corner of whatever direction I'm trying to set up this shelter. So on the end of this pole, I've just got some rubber end caps that work really, really well, keep the tent from ripping. So. So now that we've got the tent up, I've got these guy outs on the corners that I gusseted and reinforced. So I'll go ahead and get those pulled out, and that kind of helps the tent stay pitch tight. So depending on all the conditions, the temperature, the weather, I do have an intermediate point on each of the four sides that I do have enough stakes for if I need to pitch down or lower a side because of wind or weather or whatever. But for now, for this video, we won't do that. But yeah, let's go inside. I take that back. I'm gonna go ahead and put the middle stake in this door side, and I'll show you why. So when I was building this tent, I really wasn't quite sure where I wanted the door. I've seen guys put them in the middle of a panel, on a corner. They'll build a separate vestibule off the side, kind of like the sawtooth. It's more of an oblong pyramid. I wanted this one simple. By having the door on the corner, I can actually have this side be the door, or I can have the other side be the door. This side is easier when I have the guy outs attached, but if I didn't have that attached, I could have that be the door side as well. So unzips on the corner here. Zipper runs all the way to the top. One of the neat features of this shelter, I wanted it to be pretty versatile. So when I made it, I reinforced the top of the shelter here and installed a loop of cord. And so the intent for that is I could install a guy line with some paracord, which I always carry in my pack, between a couple trees in case my pole was damaged. If I needed to fit 3 or even 4 guys in this shelter, by getting rid of that pole, it really frees up a lot of floor space. So I haven't ever used it yet, but it's definitely strong enough. I put a lot of stitches in there, so that's a really good option if you guys do go ahead and build your own shelter. kind of think outside the box, think of things that you might need that you might not think of now. So this is plenty of room. So this shelter is 9'9" by 9'9" square, and it's right at 6'6" tall. Plenty of room for 2 guys. I've slept 2 guys in here quite a few times, plus room for a bunch of junk. So backpacks, antlers, bows, tripods, spotting scopes. But yeah, it's been really, really versatile. I do have a stove that I'm going to be putting in here. You guys can see that YouTube video of my little DIY titanium stove. So I still have to cut a stove jack in here. I've got the stove jack all cut out and ready to sew in. I just haven't got to that step yet. It's been a great shelter. This is made out of Sil Poly, product that I got from Ripstop by the Roll. Everything is seam sealed with 100% silicone, so the seam sealing process is done. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'll make sure to get to them. Honestly, this tent was not that expensive. I think I'm into it like $130. It took a lot of time, hours, maybe 60 hours. A lot of that was because I don't have a lot of experience sewing, but it was a fun project, made some mistakes along the way, but it's worked great. I've spent quite a few nights in the backcountry with it, and even some brave friends have dared to stay in it with me. So it's kept me dry, it's never leaked, and never fallen over in the middle of the night. 2 guys, you could squeeze 3 guys in here without a stove, most likely, and not have any issues.
Oh boy.